I've been assigned to this house for the weekend.
Assigned by who?
You know, the firm.
Oh, great. Another agent. Well, let's see some ID. How long have you been working for the CIA?
Actually, this is my first field assignment. And who are you?
I'm Daniel Warren, U.S. Marine Corps, retired. Mr. Cole, a regular caretaker of the safe house, had some chest pain this morning and they took him into medical station. They called me to take his place. Why don't you brief me on this weekend?
There's a very important meeting here tonight between the U.S. State Department and a representative from the Chagos Islands.
The what?
The Chagos Islands. They're a vast archipelago stretching across hundreds of miles in the Indian Ocean. Recent geological studies have indicated this small island group is sitting on more oil than any other country in the world, except for Saudi Arabia. OPEC is pressuring the Chagosians to join their cartel. The Chagosians have indicated some interest in being placed under the protectorate of the United States. The meeting here tonight is to negotiate the terms. As you can imagine, OPEC will stop at nothing to keep this from happening. It would even mean the downfall and breakup of the cartel.
And they sent you?
I can assure you, I am a highly trained field agent, and it is my job to secure the pattern for the meeting.
Okay. What's the time, David?
I don't really know. Details of the meeting have gotten so secret that I don't even know who the representative is or when he or she will show up. However, the U.S. State Department representative should be arriving here shortly. And it is my job to keep out any potential intruders.
Just how do you plan to do that?
I've got everything I need right here in my party. My party.
Your what?
FARTAD. Field agents, restricted techniques, and devices. Do not.
Why not?
It's booby trap.
It's what?
It's booby trap with a giant cargo net. Anyone trying to enter through the front door will be trapped. I've also rigged up what we in the trade call alley-oop cables outside of each of the windows.
Alley-oop?
Anyone trying to enter through the window will step into a loop of ropes and, through a series of weights and pulleys, will be flipped upside down into the air. That's a car.
No kidding.
you'd like to ask.
I do? Oh, yes, I do. I think it's time we see some ID, Mr. Warren.
Certainly.
Huh. Well, everything looks good here.
What kind of ID is that?
It's his driver's license. See, Daniel Warren and his photo.
Security ID?
Yes. And your security ID?
I'm afraid I left that behind when I got the emergency call from court here.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see, that's it.
What I don't understand is how we're supposed to know who the Chocolate Island representative is when he gets here.
Or her. Don't forget, it could be a woman.
Either way, how will we know?
Well, there's a recognition code word.
Well, don't you think I should know it?
It's
Whisper. The cookies away? What kind of stupid code word is that?
one that he now knows. Well, the damage is done. Let's just hope he checks out.
Don't worry about me. It doesn't matter whether I know the code word or not. It's really coming down now. Looks like we're in for a bad storm.
Oh dear, I left my bags in the car.
Your car! I need to set an alarm on it. May I have your keys?
Is an alarm really necessary?
Always be prepared, that's my motto. And at any rate, it won't take but a moment. I have everything I need ready to go in my party.
Luke, that's my coat. Why don't you wear your own?
Oh, yes, right. I see.
You're Florida?
Don't ask.
Ability is restricted. Techniques and devices. Thank you. I'll be right back.
What can they be thinking about sending some idiot like that?
I know what I'm thinking about.
What?
You!
Me?
Yes, you! You're such a great-looking guy.
Ma'am, what I am is a retired U.S. Marine Corps sergeant with a job to do. Under normal circumstances, I'd love to be called a great-looking guy, especially by a beautiful woman like you. Maybe later we can continue this conversation. But for now, we both have jobs to do.
So you do find me attractive.
As I said, we have jobs to do.
Well, later is good, but now is better.
Excuse me, ma'am. This is neither the time nor the place.
All right, big boy. This is my room, and the time is later.
Operation Car Security is complete. Anyone attempting to infiltrate the vehicle will be greeted with loud sirens and exploding paintballs, which I have carefully concealed under the door handle. So, do not try to enter your car without notifying me so that I can deactivate the alarm system.
That's fine, but my briefcase is in the front seat, and I'm going to require it for the meeting this evening.
Right. I'll go get it.
Where were we? Oh, yes, my room later. By the way, big boy, which is my room?
You never give up, do you? You could have been a great Marine.
I prefer the Mounties.
Why?
They always get their man.
There, see? That's what I mean. This is your room, ma'am.
Boy, this is small. But there's plenty of room for two big, strong, sexy soldier boys.
Marine, ma'am. Marine.
I didn't know Marines ever retreated.
The Yarmouth River was a retreat. Mine is a strategic withdrawal. I do look forward to seeing more of you later. Let me rephrase that.
A truce till later, Tyler.
Not again.
There's no need to be alarmed. I've just had a slight malfunction, but everything is under control.
You call being covered in orange paint under control?
Right. I'll go clean up. I can do that.
You can use the bathroom in my quarters. I'll forget you.
Thanks.
Take your time. Alone again, little boy.
Like I told you, I'm not your lover boy.
And I'm telling you, you will be.
We'll see.
Oh, are you still continuing your strategic withdrawal?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I guess I shall have to find a different plan of attack.
Attack.
Let's just
Just as I suspected. Sinners. Sinners enjoying the pleasures of the flesh. The pleasures of the flesh without benefit of matrimony. Do you know what kind of retribution awaits adulterers like you?
Now hold on a minute. There really wasn't anything going on.
Oh, thank you, Lord, thank you. You sent me here just in time to save these two poor lost souls.
I'd hardly describe us as lost souls.
Ah, but souls such as you are always lost, always searching. Just as the children of Israel were searching for their promised land, so too you are searching. Have you found your promised land? I know I have.
I can lead you to your promised land.
Life as you know it is rather like a plate of beans. You have green beans and brown beans, wax beans and black beans, baked beans, kidney beans, and even barbecue beans. But you know, at the end of the day, when you're all done eating, it's still just beans.
Does that make them have beans?
Although it's a variety of the spice of life, it is the very same spice that can cause you heartache and despair. Oh, my two poor lost souls, do not be tempted down life's lost path. Instead, travel as I do in abundance of riches, blessed by God.
What did he just say?
Absolutely not.
Madam, it is my mission, my purpose, and my reason for being that I find myself here to deliver you off of this path and on the path of redemption.
Well, it is my mission, my purpose, and my reason for being here. And I now require you to show me some ID.
Really? This is preposterous. I am known internationally for my ministries.
ID. Please. Now.
Very well, here it is. I left my secretary in the car down the road, and I have to bring her here to safety. But I want you to know that I cannot condone your wanton ways, which I witnessed earlier. She is an innocent, must be protected from the evil of immoral activity. Therefore, as long as we're in this house, I expect not to see any more repetition of your licentious behavior. Who is that?
Oh, he's just from the CIA.
What?
No, not the Central Intelligence Agency. The other CIA. The Culinary Institute of America. He's the chef.
He is?
Yes, that's Luke James, the chef.
Why is he on the floor?
He's asleep.
He's what?
He's asleep.
On the floor in the middle of the living room?
He suffers from narcolepsy.
He does.
Absolutely. He falls asleep anywhere all the time.
We now have a narcoleptic chef.
I see. Well, I now must go retrieve my secretary, but in the meantime, perhaps you could phone AAA. Here's my membership card.
I'm afraid the only phone around here is the chef's cell phone. And it doesn't appear to be working, probably due to the storm.
Oh, dear. Miss Johnson, if it not be too much of an imposition, do you suppose Millicent and myself can take shelter here until help arrives?
Millicent?
My secretary.
Oh, yes. I suppose that would be all right. At least until we can call for help.
Thank you, Miss Johnson. Do not take advantage of my absence to continue your lascivious behavior. Remember, the Lord is watching.
Who or what is the Reverend Samuel Abernathy?
I don't know. Then I get the feeling that if I were drowning, he'd be the first person to try to save my soul by holding out an electric cattle prod.
Who's that? Where'd he go?
That's the Reverend Samuel Abernathy. He's gone to get his secretary. Their car broke down, and they'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Why don't you see if your phone is working? We can check him out.
Right, I can do that. I'll have to try headquarters in Zone 7.
The only zone he'll reach is the Twilight Zone.
He does seem a bit out.
He's never been in it.
Well,
Nothing.
so we have no idea if the Reverend is who he says he is.
We can't just have people wandering out of this house all night. My instructions were to keep out everyone except for the Chagos Island representative.
Well, the Reverend is here now, and he's gone to get a secretary. So there's going to be 2 more people, and there isn't much we can do about it.
I shall be watching them like a hawk. If he's not who he says he is, I shall apply the interrogation technique specified in Field Agents Manual Section 39, subsection 3C.
How do you remember all those sections and subsections? I could never do that.
Ah, but you don't have my brain.
You know, and whoever had it should return it.
cover now. A shed. I can do that.
And you have narcotics.
Oh, okay, good. I can do bits.
That's in you in. Also, you know, falling asleep all the time.
Okay, good. Yeah, I can do that.
What do you do?
I'm practicing.
Practice later. For heaven's sake, get out there and follow the preacher man.
That's right, I can do that.
Makes you wonder where they find these things. Training's that tedious. He'd have never made the Marine Corps. The drill sergeants would have had him for breakfast.
You're one handsome hunk, Mr. Ward, and I'm not through with you yet. One way or the other, before this night is over, your boots are going to be under my bed.
We really need to tighten security around here if this meeting is to take place. Miss Johnson, how do you propose we do it?
Do it?
Yes, we both know what needs to be done.
We do?
Absolutely. I think we've been here long enough and we need to get down to business.
Great to me.
Right. First of all, we need to find a way to do it without the creature from hell finding out.
Way to go, big boy.
Kind of could be tricky, but I think we can handle it.
I'm so glad you think that timing is important.
Right. The place should be private. Your room will be there.
Now you're talking.
Okay, now here's the plan. You shouldn't rush into this. You should create the right mood. You should proceed slowly. And then relax down. Perhaps a glass or two of wine or something.
Must be better than I thought.
And then, when the moment arrives, we'll be in a position to take advantage of the situation. What do you think?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, I leave you here for 5 minutes and sexual love gravity rears its ugly head. Millicent ties your eye. Miss Johnson and Mr. Warren, I beseech you, do not let this innocent creature witness your lust and desire. Millicent, this is Margaret Johnson and Daniel Warren.
Hello.
Here, please, let me have your coat.
Thank you for helping us. It's really bad out there. Oh, you're very welcome. Why don't you have a seat? Oh, thank you. You look chill.
Could I get you a cup of coffee? Or perhaps a glass of brandy?
Oh, no. Daniel has warned me about the evils of liquor.
That's right, my dear. However, you've been through a lot tonight. Think a drop or two of brandy for medicinal purposes would be acceptable for both.
Right. Medicinal.
Miss Johnson, any luck with your cell phone?
No, I'm sorry. They're still not working.
Oh dear. If we're not in too much trouble, do you suppose we can stay here overnight?
Well, Daniel.
Well, the chef has this room. And that just leaves that one other room. Besides my quarters over here.
I see. Well, of course, I will need a room of my own, and as you and Mr. Warren will most certainly not be sharing a room, do you suppose you could share with Millicent?
Suppose that would be all right. Would that be all right with you, Millicent? That would be fine, thank you.
Here you go.
Daniel, are you sure this is all right?
What are you doing?
What's it look like I'm doing?
Trying to get some blood to your brain?
Mr. Warren, why is your chef hanging upside down outside the window?
Maybe he's working on a recipe for pineapple upside down.
Outside in the rain?
It keeps him awake. Let's face it, he has hang-ups.
You have a narcoleptic chef hanging by his feet, upside down outside the window, working on a recipe for pineapple upside down?
Why, yes. Doesn't everybody?
Excuse me. If it's not too much to ask, and you all are through making jokes in my unfortunate predicament, I would really appreciate it if somebody would come out here and cut me down.
Hang in there, Luke. I'll get it.
Well,
Perhaps I should finish it for you.
No! I just still get chills. Reverend, perhaps a drop more.
No, thank you. I must keep a clear head.
And you know.
Oh, no. Samuel often preaches about how people can become corrupted by what he calls the devil's word.
I wouldn't put it in words exactly like that.
But you always put it in words exactly like that.
Come on. You can change in my room.
What's wrong to the air?
Oh, well, we were on our way to a revival where Samuel was scheduled to preach, but we got lost.
Millicent, the Lord works in mysterious ways. I do not believe we're ever lost. I believe the Lord has a mission for me here.
Oh, is the chef all right?
Mr. James is a little shaken up, but he'll be fine.
I'd like to meet him when he's back to normal.
Normal? I don't think the words normal and Luke James have ever been used in the same sentence. He's just changing. He'll be out in a minute or two.
Now, Mr. Warren, I still have no satisfactory explanation as to why your chef was upside down in the window in a blind rainstorm.
Maybe he just likes to hang out.
Mr. Warren, what is going on?
There's really nothing going on. There's a very simple explanation.
There is? Of course. I can't wait to hear this one.
Well, you tell Margaret.
Me?
Yes, please explain to Reverend about Luke.
All right. You owe me for this one. You see, Reverend, there's a very simple explanation. The truth is, one of the extreme treatments for narcolepsy is to cool the body down while hanging upside down. This allows for fresh blood to flow quickly into the brain, stimulating the neurons to that part of the brain that tell him to sleep. This in turn keeps him awake.
Amazing.
She is. I mean, it is.
It must be very difficult having narcolepsy. If you never know when you'll fall asleep, how do you know when to set your alarm?
Now what?
Great, Daniel. I'll go this time.
You gotta get your coat on.
Oh, thank you.
Millicent, everything in moderation.
Oh, well, just a small one then.
Appreciate your hospitality, Mr. Warren, but you must remember that Millicent isn't innocent. We must be careful not to lead her astray. As you know, alcohol is the root of all evil.
I thought it was money.
Money is only evil when it's not used to do the Lord's work.
And Samuel is always telling everybody about how he needs money to do the Lord's work. Oh, is there a problem?
Oh, just a slight accident.
What is it this time?
It seems that Mr. James had this brilliant idea of standing with his back to the stove to dry his clothes, and they caught on fire. He then appears to have sprayed himself and the entire kitchen with a fire extinguisher, and I don't even want to guess how he got involved with all that ketchup.
Absolutely delicious. Well, I mean, you look just like a strawberry sundae.
For heaven's sakes. Come on. Let's get you cleaned up again.
Oh, Millicent, hide your eyes!
I thought you were supposed to wear your heart on your sleeve. I'm never supposed to wear your heart on
Millicent, you must forget what you just saw. The Lord requires to remain pure both in mind and in body.
But Samuel, why would he have hearts on his shorts?
Do not think it's appropriate for us to be discussing Mr. James's underwear.
Well, all right, but hearts.
No. Perhaps you'd like to change into some dry clothes. Let me get your suitcase, and I'll show you to our room.
Thank you.
There's only the one bedroom in this end of the cabin, but there's a nice sized closet where you can put your things. Reverend, if you'll excuse us.
Oh, certainly. important papers in my suitcase, which I now must study.
I'm sure you'll be very comfortable in here.
Thank you, Miss Johnson. However, my mission is not one of comfort. Incidentally, there are some dietary requests which I'd like to discuss with you whenever the cook is away.
Daniel! Daniel! Luke!
What is it?
It's him, the preacher man. It's him. What? The Reverend Samuel Abernathy is the Shagos Island representative.
What?
He just gave me the code word.
Are you sure?
It has to be him. How else would he know the code word?
It makes no sense. Why would he disguise himself as a preacher?
Well, it is a well-known fact that many religious leaders of small island nations hold very important government positions.
I didn't know that. But if he really is who he says he is, why didn't he just give us the code word right away?
How would he have known who I am? He thinks that you and I are just here for the weekend together. He doesn't know that I work for the State Department. How would you know that now?
That's cool. You must follow us down. There's no way to verify it. Perhaps Millicent can. Maybe we can find out what we need to know by having Luke interview her. If she really is the government secretary, then even the genius from the Complete Idiots Academy should have no trouble. In the meantime, don't do anything.
I can think of one thing. Where's one on you, luscious lips?
Really, Miss Johnson, what are you doing?
Obviously not basking in the warmth of your welcome.
Miss Johnson, can't we be friends?
I don't know. I've never had a friend before.
I'm sure you have lots of friends.
No. I mean, I've never had a friend.
Really, Miss Johnson, you're incorrigible. I give up. Let me rephrase that. I better look at here as fast as I can. In the meantime, don't give anything away to the preacher.
Oh, don't you worry. The only one I'll be giving anything away to is you, my gentleman, Yarid. Hello. Is Mr. Cole here? I'm afraid not. Oh, here. I'm Margaret Johnson. May I help you? I don't know. Who are you? I'm a friend of Mr. Cole's. I had made arrangements with him to use his little home for a business meeting this evening. Who are you?
I'm Heather Anderson. I was hoping Mr. Cole would be here. You see, I live just across the other side of the creek, and my power went out in the storm. And I saw the lights on, so I was hoping I could stay.
I see. Let me take your coat. So, you know Mr. Cole, then?
Oh, of course. We've been neighbors ever since I got divorced and moved into my cabin 3 years ago. We even cook for each other once in a while. I'm surprised he's not here. I just saw him yesterday.
I don't want to alarm you, dear, but Mr. Cole had to go for some medical tests earlier today, and we don't expect him back this evening.
Really? He never said anything to me.
Would you excuse me for a moment? I need to tell Mr. Ward that you're here.
Who's Mr. Ward?
He's my he's a business associate of mine.
Well, they need a bathroom draft.
Of course, the door is just over there.
No, indeed not. I just didn't realize there was anyone else here. Where are my manners? I am the Reverend Samuel Abernathy.
How do you do? I'm Heather Anderson.
Would you care to sit down?
Yes. Are you a friend of Mr. Cole?
Who?
Mr. Cole. He owns the cabin.
I'm afraid I've never met Mr. Cole. My car broke down just down the road from here, and my secretary and I took shelter here. The Lord works in wondrous ways. It seems he has summoned me here, and I arrived just in time to intervene on an immoral situation of the utmost regret.
What?
I mean, those two misguided souls about to embark on an illicit liaison.
Which two guys?
Miss Johnson and Mr. Warren.
Mr. Warren.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Really? Miss Johnson just told me that she arranged to use the cabin for business, and that Mr. Warren was for custodian.
Only business those two are conducting is monkey business.
Oh, I see.
I hope you never do.
You know, I am really embarrassed to even ask, but I desperately want to get out of these lessons, and I can't seem to get them off. Would it affect you if I asked for your help?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm here to be of service. Goodness me, they don't seem to be coming off. Here, let's try it this way.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Quite all right. Let's give it another try.
Try it this way. Let me brace myself with my other foot over here.
Don't bark in my behind and call me a brisket. Whatever. Witness the sins of the flesh.
I can assure you, Mr. Warren, it is not as it appears to be.
You could have fooled me. I think for 5 minutes and sexual depravity rears its ugly head.
Dear Lord, this is too much.
I want you to know, I cannot condone such lascivious behavior.
This is intolerable. How dare you mock a man of the cloth? I will not stand here and listen to any more of this. Excuse me, Miss Faraday.
You know, it really was an accident. We simply told her.
I'm sure it was. It's just such fun to tease him.
Oh, I hope I'm not disturbing you. I was hoping to talk to Samuel.
He just left. Millicent, may I introduce you to Miss Faraday?
Hello, please, call me Heather.
Hi. Do you live here?
Oh no, I live just the other side of the creek. My power's out in the storm, and since I know Mr. Cole built his cabin, I was hoping I could stay with him.
Well, you're poor dear. You're really wet. Can I get you a brandy? I can recommend it.
Maybe later. Right now, I would love to get out of these little.
Mr. Ward, perhaps you could.
Please, call me Dan. Sure, why don't we give it a try? Well, there we go. No,
Thank you so much.
your jeans are soaked. Do you have anything to change into?
No, I'm afraid not.
Wait, I can help. I don't have any jeans, but I might have a skirt if that helps. And let's see if I have a pair of shoes that will fit.
Oh, I have a pair of shoes, but skirt would be nice. Thank you.
Why don't you come with me?
Well, what do you think?
We have another woman here.
Another woman? Who?
Heather Faraday. She says she's a neighbor and knows Mr. Cole. Her power went out. Now she needs to spend the night.
This isn't a safe house, it's a bed and breakfast. Did you check her ID?
Isn't that supposed to be your job?
Oh, yes, right, I can do that.
First things first. Millicent we have here. We need to find out if she and the Reverend really are representatives of the child recycling company. Can you do that, remaining incognito?
I thought we were in Virginia.
Subtle way? Not revealing your age?
Subtle is my middle name.
You're about as subtle as a sledgehammer. Just remember, you're a chef.
That's the only thing that worries me. I don't know anything about food. What do I do if they start asking me questions about cooking itself?
Just be kind of vague. And remember, you are a narcoleptic. You can always fall asleep if you're really discovered.
Right. I can do that.
I found a skirt. It's changing. Oh, hello. You must be the chef.
Millicent, I'd like to meet Luke Cherry.
Hello.
Hi. You look a little different from the last time I saw you. Are you all right?
He's never been all right.
I just had a slight accident, but I'm fine now. Thank you.
Right. I'll just leave you two to get acquainted. I'll be in my room if you need me.
I'm so excited to meet a real chef. Good questions I'd love to ask you.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that rude?
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just, before we get to that, I'm fascinated by the Reverend Abernathy's line of work. Tell me, do you always travel with him?
Yes, most of the time.
And what exactly do you do?
Well, my main job is in medical finance. In the past couple of years, considerable sums of money have been required.
Really?
Oh, yes, particularly in the area of social services. The Reverend is very keen in supporting programs for the needy.
I see. And he alone is responsible for the negotiations of those funds?
Well, I wouldn't really call them negotiations. He feels that he is always in such a position of strength that he always gets what he needs.
But the decisions are his to make.
Definitely. But he does answer to a higher power.
Of course.
Now, am I asking, what is it like to be a chef?
It's different.
Different.
Well, you cook something different every day, don't you?
Well, yes, you do. What's your favorite dish?
A plate.
What?
A plate of... Oh dear, did I fall asleep?
Yes, I think you did. Would you like a brandy? See if that would be.
I'm not sure I should be on duty and all.
Dude.
Cooking duty. I have to cook tonight, but I'm sure one can hurt.
Well, of course not.
Would you like one too?
Oh, no. Samuel always says everything in moderation.
May I ask how long you've known the Reverend?
Yes.
So are you going to tell me?
Tell you what.
Tell me how long you've known the Reverend?
Oh, you'd like me to?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
So, are you going to answer my question?
What question?
I thought cooking was hard.
You think cooking is hard?
Yes. No. What about my question?
I don't know.
So you don't know how long you've known the Reverend?
Oh, well, of course I do. I've known him for 2 years.
Aha! So you don't really know him that well.
Well, I thought I did. And I'm just beginning to realize that maybe he's not everything he claims to be.
What?
It doesn't matter. I've been dying to ask you, how do you keep a souffle from going flat? That's something I said. Luke!
What?
Oh, dear, you fell asleep again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I know you can't help it.
You?
Yes, I know you suffer from narcolepsy. Samuel told me. It must be very difficult.
You really do have a heart of gold, don't you?
And I remember your hearts. Oh my goodness, that was very annoying. Sorry, I should go check on Heather. I need to hear her circle. She's busted.
Oh, there you are. So, how did the interview go?
Well, what did you find out? Is the Reverend the representative?
Through my interrogation of said subject and applying all the techniques at my disposal, while using several maneuvers to discreetly disclose certain information from said subject, I have determined that the Reverend may be the representative.
Maybe.
Yes.
All right. Tell us exactly what you found out.
He alone is responsible for all the negotiations.
That's it?
There's more. He's always in a position of such strength that he never really needs to negotiate.
Oh, that's the trouble.
What else?
He is responsible to a higher authority.
Well, we know that.
So the bottom line is, we still don't know for sure. To create the opportunity for me to be alone with him. That way we can confirm it one way or the other. I know it's not the ideal situation with all these people here, but it's all we've got.
I know. What? No.
No.
What? I just-
No.
Luke, maybe you can help. Do you think you could keep Millicent busy in the kitchen.
I can do that.
Daniel, can you keep Heather busy, but not too busy, if you know what I mean?
Sure. It sounds like the rain's letting up. I'll just suggest we go take our nap.
Oh, I hope we're not disturbing you.
Oh, not at all. We were just going over the dinner plans for this evening, and the chef was wondering if perhaps you'd like to help him. Work we lose.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'd love to. I've always wanted to work with a real chef. Is he safe in a kitchen?
Oh, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he could function quite well when the moon is full and the wind is in the right direction. It sounds like the rain is just about stopped. Perhaps this is a chance for us to go take a look at your generator.
What a good idea.
Right. I'll just get my raincoat and flashlight. Be right back.
No, I don't make it. No, we'll make it across the creek. The bridge is really low.
You're a very lucky young lady to have a strong, good-looking ex-Marine with you. I'm sure if there's a way, he'll find it. Just hope it's only the general that he checks out.
Oh, he's not like that.
Well, he's certainly not.
What makes you say that?
He's single.
All set. Let's go.
Excuse me, Reverend. I was wondering if I might have a word.
Oh, certainly.
First, I'd like to apologize for the remarks that Mr. Warren made earlier today. I'm sure he didn't mean anything by it.
It's the very nature of a man to ridicule that which he does not understand. He is already forgiven, for the Lord says, judge not lest you be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven.
That's very generous of you, but now that we know the cook is away, perhaps we could get down to business.
I'm certain.
I do understand how delicate the situation is, and I want to assure you that we'll do everything in our power to accommodate your needs.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Now, if you'll tell me precisely, what is your primary concern?
It's oil, madam.
Well, of course, oil is everyone's concern.
Well, what I'm referring to is Thousand Island oil.
Are there really 1,000 islands?
What?
The Chagos Islands, are there really 1,000 of them?
What in heaven's name are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
My dietary needs. I'm allergic to certain kinds of oil, usually used in creamy salad dressing.
Then you're not a Shagosian?
Certainly not. I'm a Presbyterian.
There's a fire in the kitchen.
Oh, Lord, not again.
What happened?
We were only about halfway down to the creek when we saw smoke pouring out of the kitchen window.
Oh dear. I hope everybody's all right. Maybe I could render some assistance.
I'm sure they had it under control.
Miss Faraday, I'd really like to apologize for the compromising situation in which Mr. Warren found us earlier. Really does not seem to believe it was accidental.
That's... Oh, dear.
Well, what happened?
I seem to have lost confidence.
Oh, here, maybe I can help.
Don't let me get...
Donna and decaf coffee and alright. What we got here? Witness the sins of the flesh. Take it for 5 minutes and sexual depravity rears its ugly head again.
Oh, really, this is too much. Once again, Mr. Warren, you condemn the innocent. You wrongly accuse me. How dare you pass judgment?
I'd better go clean up Luke's mess again.
Hello, Margeret from the State Department. Allow me to introduce myself. The cook is away.
Tell me, how are the negotiations going?
They're not. If anything, they're moving backward. That woman is ridiculous. Her demands are outrageous. In a rough guess, I estimate that she's asking for about $40 billion. And that's just the first two.
Really?
Well, you know, demands like that aren't usually made for the benefit of a gun or getaway car.
I'm surprised. She seemed very pleasant and going at dinner. In fact, she volunteered to stay behind and help Millicent with the dishes. She can't get it look like cover.
Unless it's the hunk on the cover of all those romance novels. Speaking of humps and covers, I know one I'd like to see a fly cover.
What's it doing out there?
The storm is picking up again. Very heavy rain right now.
What more are you doing out there, Luke?
Well, since the phone still is working and we know that Miss Faraday is the Chocolate's Island representative, I considered it strategically prudent, according to Field Agents Manual, Section 42, Subsection 7, to further address certain restrictive devices around the perimeter of said property and replace them with concealed multiple audible warning devices.
What?
What?
Replace them with booby traps with noise makers. In addition, I've also outlined window frames.
What?
Using a 1,000-watt converter for my apartment, in accordance with paragraph 42, subsection 4, paragraph 13. Anyone touching the window frame will be immediately subjected to very considerable voltage.
Idiot Central strikes again.
What is idiot central?
Carolyn doesn't get it, does he?
I don't think he did. It came in a large box with it written behind me on letter.
Oh, incidentally, Lou, I wanted to congratulate you.
Nothing so necessary, it's all part of my job.
What I was congratulating you on was the dinner. The meal was actually quite good.
Well, I must confess, Millicent prepared most of it. She really is very talented in the kitchen. I was just pretending. By the way, where is the Reverend?
If you mean the parsimonious preacher who can't keep his hands to himself, he's in his room.
Daniel, aren't you being a bit harsh?
Perhaps. But his favorite song is "Got to Get Reach Out and Touch Someone."
Does this belong to you?
I'm afraid so. I'm very sorry. We don't want to let him out without a leash.
I heard this noise. Oh, you poor dear sweet thing.
How am I supposed to commune with the Lord? There wasn't this much noise and the wall of Jericho will fall. Millicent, what are you doing?
Now, sir, may I ask who you are and what you do?
My name is Ranger Dawn, and this is part of my territory. See, the storm has caused some power outages and some of the roads are impassable. So I'm checking all the cabins to see if anybody needs any help.
I see. I didn't know that was part of a ranger's job.
Well, normally it isn't, but you see all these cabins are actually on national park property. Reverend, I'm so sorry that you were disturbed. Please, come down and have a seat. And you too, Ranger Don. I was just going to get a little brandy, perhaps a small one to warm you up. Well, maybe just a quick one. I've got lots of cabins to check on, and it looks like it's going to be a long night.
Right. I'll just go see where Buckethead is up there.
Ranger Don, my car broke down just down the road from here. When do you suppose a tow truck would be able to get here?
Definitely not before tomorrow, and even that is doubtful. There are reports of rock slides and trees are down. Only emergency vehicles are landing right now. Thanks.
I was just musing on how similar our vocations are. We both have the responsibility of rescuing lost souls. You in the physical world, and I in the spiritual realm.
Well, I never really thought about it like that. However, my job isn't actually rescuing people as it is protecting the environment from their irresponsible behavior.
There, you see, we are alike. I too must protect people from the attacks of Satan and their own irresponsible behavior, don't I, Miss Johnson?
Reverend, I believe that Ranger John has better things to do than to sit here moralizing about other people's behavior. You're right. I should be off. Thanks for the drink. I'll check back with you later. Good night.
You're right, Millicent. I apologize.
Poor dear. Are you all right?
There's a little ringing in my ear, but I'll be back to normal soon.
Normal.
However did you manage to get that focus stuck on your head?
Well, it kind of, you know.
He's not asleep. He's just
Worn out, I'm sure.
right, Miss Johnson. Well, don't give me the bucket. I'll just get rid of this stuff.
That's all right. I think I'll go with you. I wouldn't want to miss out on a trip to your tool shed.
You know.
Thank you for helping me.
Oh, you just look so helpless with that bucket on your head.
I just had a little accident.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't your fault.
You know, I really enjoy cooking.
Me too. I hope I'm not intruding, but I'm just about done in the kitchen. How you doing, Tin Man?
Very fun. I'm just gonna go finish up in the kitchen. I'll talk to you later if you like.
So I sense a little romance in the air. Romance? I can see that he likes you. He does? How do you know? Can't you tell? I don't know what you're talking about. You really aren't kidding, are you? Good grief, I feel like I've just joined Virgin from Honor. What? I said we're verging on the amorous. Well, do you like him? Oh, he's ever so sweet. I think I do. Oh, well, that's so long. He likes you. You like him. What's the problem? I don't know what to do. Could you help me? Well, okay, tell me. Have you ever had a boyfriend? Well, no. Can't believe I'm going to do this. Here we go, Millicent. Seduction 101. The first thing you have to do is let them know you're interested. How do I do that? It's all in the way you look at them, like this. Now, you try it. Maybe with a little practice. Next, as you approach it, you need to use your body language to further capture. Let me show you. When you stand, you slowly uncross your legs, then lean towards him and gently push yourself up. As you walk towards him, sway your hips seductively, all the while maintaining constant eye contact. Now, you give it a try.
I don't think my body can do that.
Sure it can. Go on and try it. Just remember, slowly, seductively, and intent on the prey.
Pray.
Well, we are trying to catch him, aren't we?
Well, I'd like to catch him.
That's getting a bit of practice, too. Now we have the sit.
There's a special way to sit.
Yes, and this is what reels them in. You go sit on the couch and I'll show you. It's really very simple. First, put your feet slightly apart and your right foot a little in front. Gently ease yourself into the edge of the couch. Then, run your hand up your leg to the edge of your shirt, just a little, while sliding back into the seat. Finish off the move with a gracefully executed crossing on the leg. As you place your right arm on the back of the couch, turn ever so slightly in this direction, gaze directly to his eyes, smile seductively. Now, you pretend I'm moving you to the trap. And this really works. Trust me, done correctly, it works like a charm.
Correctly is what I'm worried about.
Wait right there. Here, take it.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Of course you can. You need to turn lemonade into champagne.
What?
Nothing. Just make sure you grab it.
Well, everything seems to be ship-shape in the kitchen.
He just didn't manage to finish the kitchen without blowing up the entire cabinet.
Amazingly, yes.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't his fault. It must be very difficult being a narcoleptic chef. Excuse me, there's something that I need to do.
What was all that about?
Nothing really. So, Miss Johnson, you seem to be alone again. Shall we have another crack at it?
Absolutely. I think we should be fine here. Everyone seems to be busy for the moment. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, I believe we were discussing the specific formula for the dollar amount that the United States government would pay to the Chagos Islands, which Carroll would.
Right. And I have been thinking about that. I believe it's important that we establish that if the price of sparrow is market prices, that the Chagos Island royalties should rise accordingly.
I don't have a problem with that. As long as the prices go down, the royalties should go down.
I'm not sure I can agree with that.
Don't mind my saying so. I find that remark to be quite unreasonable.
Totally apologize, madam. It seems I have tripped over something. Miss Johnson, it appears to be your chef. You don't mind my asking, why is your chef lying on the floor under a rug?
He's hiding.
Why?
Well, you know, he likes to keep a low profile.
It must be unbearable having an employee that's an accident waiting to happen.
Oh, not a word, Mr. Warren, not a word. Ladies, please excuse me.
Has anyone seen Lou?
Miss Faraday, perhaps we should find a quiet place where we can continue.
All right, how about my room?
Perfect.
What are you doing?
I'm working undercover. Yes, I had placed myself in an advantageous place of concealment for purposes of possible engagement with perpetrators of antagonistic motivation.
What?
Protecting Miss Johnson.
Well, you know, you would never be known as the ultimate idiot. You're overqualified.
Hello. I was hoping we could talk some more. Feeling all right?
I guess I need more practice.
I just wanted to thank you for all your help with dinner. I couldn't have done it without you.
Are you all right?
Yes, I just thought I heard something, and it's my job to keep the cabin secure.
But I thought you were a chef.
You're just so sweet. I have to get fighting. I'm not who you think I am.
What do you mean?
Not the chef. I'm an agent.
Agent.
Yes. I work for the CIA. It's all a disguise. I'm a highly trained field agent. I am here to protect Miss Johnson, who's Undersecretary of the U.S. State Department, which is a very important meeting here tonight with a representative of the Chagos Islands. We've received information from intelligence that open will try to sabotage this meeting. It is my job to make sure that the meeting takes place without interruption.
Oh, Luke, you're an agent. This is so exciting, just like 007.
Yes, I suppose I do lead an exciting life. I've been trained so that nothing escapes my attention. I see. I hear things others don't hear. Like an owl in the night, a cat in the jungle. Excuse me. Oh, Donna, I think Come in.
I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. May I be of any help?
That's all right, Ranger Don. I have everything under control.
Right.
Well, Luke, you did have one or two little problems outside.
All right, Ranger Don. What can you do to improve the security around the perimeter?
Well, first, I get rid of all those ridiculous tin cans and buckets out there. Any fool can see them from 100 yards away, even in the dark. And then I would replace them with some tripwires with flares, which I have in my trunk. I can do that for you if you like.
You can do that?
I can do that. And while I'm focusing on the outside, why don't you focus on the inside, on all the doors and windows, especially in the rear of the house?
Right, I can do that.
Okay. Well, nobody's getting in or out of here tonight. We don't know that. No, I met Mr. Warren, Miss Johnson, and the Reverend. And I saw this young lady earlier, but I'm not sure where she fits in.
Oh, hello. I'm the Reverend Abernathy's secretary.
Hello? So, Luke, is there anyone else I should know about?
Well, there is one other person. Whose identity I cannot divulge.
Okay. Well, we both have a lot of things to get done. I will check back with you later, and I will keep my eye out for anything unusual.
Luke, I thought this only happened in movies. How do you know what to do?
I'm a highly trained security agent.
Aren't you gonna lock this?
Yes, right, I can do that. Millicent, there's work to be done. I've only got one thing on my mind right now, and I must take care of it immediately. It's very important that we secure the kitchen windows, and then check on Mr. Warren's apartment in the rear. Maybe his work is never done.
Oh, Luke, I wish I could help, but I don't know what to do.
You don't have to do anything. Just relax and do everything you need. Have no fear. Luke is here.
Oh, Millicent, my dear, I've been meaning to speak with you. You must understand that men are predators. They prey on the innocent. Millicent, please come sit down.
Daniel, I can hear you coming.
Millicent, I'm not sure that this Luke fellow is who he appears to be.
Oh, yes, I know. But how do you find out?
Oh, well, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
So does Luke.
And you must understand, Millicent, he's only got one thing on his mind.
Oh, I know. He told me.
He told you?
Oh, yes. He said he's going to do it in the kitchen.
The kitchen?
Yes, and then he's going to do it in Mr. Warren's apartment.
The kitchen? Mr. Warren's apartment? Oh, the depravity of it all. Oh, Lord, forgive me. I've neglected the innocent one entrusted to my care. Millicent, you must not let this happen.
Oh, but Luke says it's very important that it does happen.
Millicent, my dear, you know so little about the ways of the world. You are in grave danger. I really do not think you know what you are doing.
Well, that's what I told Luke, but then he said to relax and leave everything to him.
The scoundrel! Millicent, I implore you, go to your room and pray. Pray and remember all that you have been taught, and then practice. Practice that which you remember.
Oh, Samuel, such words of wisdom. I will practice. Practice, yes, I do need practice.
I'm sorry, Reverend, I didn't see you there.
Oh, that's quite all right, Miss Johnson. Incidentally, there's something I'd like to speak with you about, which is of the utmost importance.
Of course, I'll be with you in a minute. Have you seen Mr. Ward?
Thankfully, no. Now, Miss Johnson, it's about your chef. Your chef is a predator who is preying on the virtue of an innocent.
I'm sorry, Reverend. What was that? What were you saying?
Miss Johnson, may I be frank with you?
Of course, but I thought your name was Samuel.
Miss Johnson, this is no time for levity. Your chef said he's going to do it in the kitchen.
Do what?
Of all people, Miss Johnson, I thought you would understand.
Understand what?
That your chef wants to take Millicent in the kitchen.
So?
You don't see any problem with this?
Where else would they go? After all, that's where all the equipment is.
What?
Reverend, I really don't see your problem. I think he's just going to give her a few lessons. You know, teach her a few tricks of the trade.
Tricks of the trade? Oh!
Reverend, how you
must be protected from herself. That's it. I will go to Millicent. I will convince her that this is wrong. I will take her hands in mine and have her repeat after me. I must resist the pleasures of the flesh. My carnal desires must be suppressed. The innocent physical contact experienced earlier this evening, no matter how pleasurable, must remain pure.
Well, Reverend, I couldn't help but overhear. So you have the house for little old Heather?
What?
Carnal desires, Reverend, for little old me?
Oh, no, Miss Faraday. You misunderstand it. It's not you. It's Millicent.
Millicent?
Oh, yes, indeed, Millicent.
Oh dear, I'm afraid she took the wrong man.
She certainly has. I'm so glad to hear that finally someone agrees with me. Miss Faraday, could I ask for your help in this situation?
Why does everyone keep asking me to help? I suppose. What do you have in mind?
Well, I'm not really sure. What do you think I should do?
Well, does Millicent feel the same way?
Oh, yes, I believe she does.
And how far has it gone?
Well, Millicent says it's going to happen in the kitchen.
The kitchen. Way to go, Millicent. Must be a better teacher than I thought.
You see no problems with this?
No, there's obviously strong feelings involved, so why not just let it happen?
Oh, no, I can't do that.
Oh, sure you can, Reverend. Just do what comes natural.
Really, Miss Faraday, is there no one around here with any sense of morality? First Millicent, then Miss Johnson, and now you? I need to take a walk outside and commune with the Lord prior to undertaking the task before me.
It looks like you could use some help.
Oh, thank you. I think you
Help?
What have we got here?
Butter your butt if you don't stop laughing and lend us a hand.
The last thing you need is another hand.
Oh! Mr. Warren, the Baird is busy displaying his comedic talent. Do you suppose you could render some assistance? Thank you, Miss Johnson. Miss Faraday. As for you, you can go find the nearest elevator, press down, and join me up above.
If you two would excuse me, I need to straighten up. If you need me, I'll be right.
Why would you need her when you can have me?
I told you before, it's not R&R time yet.
I like that word, yes.
Boy, you don't give up, do you?
Not with a macho marine like you. But I am ready to give up on negotiations with that woman. She's impossible. She doesn't negotiate, she demands. She's the most illogical, insensitive, stubborn, unresponsive, inflexible woman on the face of the planet.
Why don't you tell me how you really feel? Seriously, I'm sure you'll do what you can. By the way, I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
Anything for you, my luscious Leatherneck.
Pop in and check on Millicent. She looked a little upset earlier.
All right. But then it had better be R&R time.
Where do you think you're going with that?
I don't sleep without my party by my side.
I know what I'd like to sleep with at my side.
Good grief. Let's all get to bed. See you guys in the morning.
Well, I'll see you before the morning will be up.
It was just said that Johnson wanted back to the State Department to all of my outrageous demands. It would probably take quite a while for them to figure out what happened. That way we would have bought some time for OPEC, which is what we were hired to do. But what I'm worried about is what do we do when the real Charles Island rep shows up?
Well, if I get to him before Miss Johnson does, I think Mr. Cole will have some company.
And if you can't?
Well, we better get out of Dodge quick. Is the Jeep ready?
Yes, it's parked behind the other cabin. By the way, how did you know the recognition code? Without that, we would have had no chance.
That was a piece of dumb luck. It was the graduate of the Complete Idiots Academy who blurted that one out.
Well, we've done all we can do now.
Right. Let's get some shut-eye. Good night.
See you in the morning.
Millicent? That's you?
What do you mean? Of course it's me.
I'm sorry. You look so different.
Luke, sit down. I have something very important I need to talk to you about.
Okay, shoot.
First of all, what is OPEC?
Why do you want to know?
Well, I just overheard Daniel and Heather say they are employed by OPEC.
What?
They said they were hired to disrupt the meeting between Miss Johnson and representative of some islands.
Tell me exactly what you heard.
Well, they have Chris Cole locked up in another cabin. They have a Jeep ready to go. Oh, and they learned the code word from the graduate of the Complete Idiots Academy. What's that?
That information is on a need-to-know basis. You don't need to know.
What are we going to do?
First, I'm going to capture them. Then, I'm going to free Mr. Cole.
You're going to need my help. There's two of them, you know. You'll need me by your side.
All right. No one must know what I'm doing.
I've never done anything like this before.
You know, Millicent, you don't have to do this. You can go to your room right now and lock the door.
But I want to. You definitely want to.
Well, I've got locked and broken and two sets of handcuffs.
This is exciting.
We're in this together, Millicent.
Okay, so what's the plan? How are we going to do it?
You need to get Heather out here first. If you can get her to sit on the bed, I can get her from behind.
Well, you're not going to hurt her, are you?
No, I just need to get the cuffs off her. Then we can deal with Mr. Warren.
Oh, Luke, you can do that?
I can do that.
Please be careful.
I've been training for this moment all my life. If you can get her into position, I'll hide. Then we'll spring the trap.
I'm sorry to bother you, but could you please show me the sit again? I suppose. First, put her in the wall. You need to sway your hips. That's it. Alright, not bad. Now for the sit. Remember, to hold the legs gracefully, and you may even try licking your lips. That's it.
Burn No, left. Don't act. Where were you? Wait, I got it. Got it. Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you didn't get her.
No.
Well, Luke, how did this happen?
Don't ask.
Has this happened before?
Don't ask.
Has this happened often?
Don't ask.
Well, batter my buns and call me cheapskate. What have we got here?
You're under arrest.
Tell me about it.
We've discovered that you're not who you say you are. You've been hired by foreign governments to infiltrate this safe house. According to Field Agents Manual, Section 39, Subsection
Luke,
20.
dear, do you really think he cares? Daniel, I think it's time to get out of here.
I agree. When you get out of this mess, go over to the cabin across the creek. Mr. Cole is locked in the basement. Here's the key. Now listen up, Mr. I can do that. Section 4, subsection 3B, paragraph 2 of the Marine Corps Manual says, stay on the porch if you can't run with the big dog.
What?
Don't mess with the Marines.
Well, Millicent, my innocent. It looks like you got a tiger by the tail. Well, what does that mean? It means you grab it and don't let go. Go for it.
What does she mean by that?
What the hell happened to my raincoat?
Before you say anything, but don't say anything, Millicent, I have something to say. Rome was not built in a day.
What?
Oh, no, that's not the right one. Millicent, it is harder for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. That's not the right one either. Something about pearls and swine or sowing and reaping. I think I better go lie down. That means
Why did you ask me to hide us?
Oh, I guess that you're not. And besides, I'm beginning to quite like it.
Well, me too, but look at us. We've got to get out of this.
Maybe we need to come.
I can do that.
While we're waiting, shall we? What in the world are you two doing?
Could you untie us?
Oh, the stupid idiotic things. I can't imagine how you two have managed such a one.
Well, it wasn't my fault, Dad. We're trying to disengage ourselves from our current predicament.
Oh, that's never going to work. Where are the keys?
The keys? Oh, yes, the keys! They're in my party.
Oh, Luke, don't be rude. She's just trying to help us.
No, not the keys. They're in my suitcase.
Never mind, obvious. Can't fathom how the two of you got into all this mess. What is really going on here?
At approximately 10:23 p.m., I, with a little help from my new assistant, Millicent, discovered that Mr. Warren and Miss Faraday were not, in fact, who they said they were. They are, in fact, open agents, sent here to disrupt the meeting that was to take place here tonight. It turns out that Mr. Warren, with the help of Miss Faraday, kidnapped Mr. Cole and replaced said caretaker. It was only through extreme vigilance and my expertise and training that we were able to uncover this plot.
We're going to rescue Mr. Cole. We hear the light.
Where are they now?
Well, they escaped.
Okay, so you got tied up, they escaped. I've got the picture. So where's Mr. Cole?
He's in the cabin across the creek.
Okay, let's go.
All right, Millicent, but understand, when I write my report this evening, you did not see me hanging upside down outside the window. You did not see me hanging with a bucket on my head. I did not set fire to the kitchen. There will be no mention of ketchup. We were never handcuffed together. And in fact, you were never here.
I understand, Luke.
Thank you for everything.
You didn't get everything. Oh, pity my Mr. Marine Man. We could have made some beautiful music together. Oh well, my mother always said the best way to get over someone was to get under someone. But you're not hurt. Here I come.
Good evening, Miss Johnson. So glad to see you finally alone. Now that the whole Captain Medless has left and our so-called security is busy elsewhere. Let me introduce myself. My name is Donna Yarid from the Tagos Islands, and the cook is away.